Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Looney, and today the markets went green. My account is currently sitting at $50,700. I'm up almost 2% on the day, and we have a major shift in sentiment. And I just want to break it down and let you know exactly what I'm doing with my portfolio right now. But before we dive into it, quick shout out to the Discord. It is completely free to join. And then if you want trade alerts, my full selling options course, one-on-one coaching, or to get in on giveaways, there's also a premium tier for $8 a month. I do offer different types, but the $8 a month is the most common. But you can check it out. All the links to that are in the description. Let's get into it. So here's what's going on with the macro environment. There was a ceasefire, but then it was broken by both Iran and Israel, and they were bombing during that ceasefire, or at least that ceasefire announcement. And tensions spiked again. It was very curious to see where things were heading, and Trump was not happy. I don't know if you've seen it on social media, but he dropped a F-bomb and basically just was truly upset with how they are dealing with it. So he called out both Iran and Israel for escalating, especially during a negotiated pause. But now it does seem like the ceasefire is in effect, and Israel's shifting its focus to Gaza and instead of continuing with Iran. And that sort of helped calm the markets a bit. At least for today, we are seeing massive green or massive moves upwards. And then also in the news, we did hear that the U.S. strikes earlier this week wasn't actually that effective, and that might be why Iran wasn't deterred. And that's still developing. I'm not even sure if that is true. But when it comes to my strategy, I didn't really buy anything today. We saw massive green. I am thinking the markets are a little overbought today. So the only things I bought are my simple dollar cost average, and that is my Sony. I do $8 a day on Sony, trying to get 100 shares so I could sell covered calls, collect premium, and maybe just sell off these shares if I feel it's appropriate. And then I have Hood. I'm also doing $2 a day. This stock is up 7% on the day. It just seems to keep climbing because it is a good stock, but I'm very curious to see if it ever crashes. And if it does, I'll probably load up a little bit more. But for now, I will just simply do my small amounts, dollar cost average, just build a long-term position. And I said I was going to buy more HIMs, but I kind of decided not to. I sat in on a space, and I just didn't know much about the company, so I didn't want to continue to invest. So I'm just going to keep my 5 shares there. And then if it does dip a little bit more, I'll probably buy more just to get my dollar cost average down, or my average cost down. And then I will sell for a profit if it's like 100% or at a profit that I like. So I'm not too concerned as to with those positions. And then obviously I have my crypto dollar cost average. Not really much movement on crypto today, but overall I just bought I think it's like $15 a day that are just spread out with different cryptos. And why I didn't really make major moves today is because the time to buy was before, when we saw that, or earlier this week when the markets were bleeding and just red across the board. And that's when I was selling puts. I bought dips and I opened new positions. And this is while everyone else was panicking. So if we go to this week chart, because this is my portfolio and how it did, we were seeing massive volatility. I did pick up a few sell puts here. Here I kind of didn't, I believe. And this one I did early in the morning. But yeah, there was like one dip I didn't really do just because it was really aggressive and I didn't want to catch a falling knife. So I just kind of let things play out. And yeah, I missed out on one of those, but overall, really solid week. I'm up almost 2% on the month. I'm up 4%. And then 3 months, I'm up 10%. So I'm simply just holding my plays. I have my options. I have my sell puts. Some of them are in the red. The covered calls are in the red. My puts are in the green. So on the day, I am down 9%. So I was capped at some of my gains, but overall, I'm not too concerned. I might have to sell these call credit spreads for a loss, depending on where they end up by this week or next week. is how I'm going to play them. But yeah, I truly just didn't panic when I saw the market dip. I was selling puts. I sold a lot of Mara puts. If we go to Mara and we go to my own position, I have almost 8,000 locked up in cash, ready to deploy into shares. And because of that, because I'm locking it up, I get paid. And similar to a dividend, I'm getting paid to hold the shares, but it's more like I'm trying to buy the shares or get it at a discount. And because I'm signing up to the agreement, I get paid a premium. So I have a lot of premiums collected from Mara. And that's really the major move. I have a few Riot sell puts, and I think so far I'm just holding off. So overall, not major moves were made on today. And just overall, I did close a call credit spread just because in case things were going a little bit hotter, I thought I would just cash in some credit. So I got a $7 call credit spread of profit, around 63%. And you might think this is not a lot. And that's just because most of the time when people do the call credit spreads, they're using a lot more contracts. They use like 10 contracts. But I just wanted to have a small position, just get a quick little profit. And green is green, so I'm not really too concerned. And it was also a good small portfolio play, so I gave it to my premium members to check out. So while things are calmer for now, or at least bullish, I'm staying ready. I still have my cash on the side. And also because I sold puts at these dips, that when we see a pullback, that pullback might be support at that point. So I did sell puts at a pretty good time. Even if the market does crash significantly, I could get assigned at cheaper prices. So overall, I'm just having that cash, and hopefully if they expire worthless, which it might be this Mara put, I will get my cash back. And this is just one of them. So I'll get 1,400 here, and then a few other ones that there's a chance that I get that cash back and have it on the side for any kind of opportunity, which you can see I'm taking advantage of. I have 8,000 locked up in Mara. So that means at one point I had like $8,000 in cash or $10,000 in cash, and I was just waiting. I wasn't making major moves, and that's really what's important, is don't FOMO in and don't panic sell. So that's the hardest thing to do when investing and just being emotional, is to get that emotions out when investing. So even though the market is green today, we already know how this market is and how fast that can flip. And if things do dip again, I am looking to reload into more puts or just open new positions. But for now, I'm simply just holding steady. And if you want help building this kind of strategy or want to know exactly what I do during these kinds of market swings, check the link to the Discord, free to join. And then the premiums, obviously, it's just $8 a month. Stay sharp, stay patient. Peace.